ko ngā pito kōrero o te wā tonight on Metro News.
Autumn leaves are causing issues for Christchurch residents.
Riding for the Disabled is on the hunt for more volunteers.
And rural vets are walking away from their jobs. Kia ora ototahi and welcome to Metro News.
A program brought to you by the students of the New Zealand Broadcasting School.
We're nearly at the end of autumn and that means Ototahi is a growing leaf crisis. With 20,000 trees lining the streets, the cleanup is no small task. I went along to find out exactly what can be done. Autumn in Christchurch is considered a great season by some, but for other residents, it's a leafy nuisance. Christchurch is known for its beautiful deciduous trees covering our city, but it comes with a cost. Every year, thousands of leaves fill like gutters, drains and roads, causing flooding and hazards for cyclists and motorists. It's a particular problem in Sockburn. Every autumn, leaves block drains. Residents say the council doesn't turn up, and that's not good enough.
I can be up to ankle deep water just trying to clear it. And like the other day, we had a burst of rain. It's like it rained quite hard for about 10 minutes. Within the 10 minutes, half the street was blocked, and it's all just leaves.
Keen cyclist Alan Taunt is still dodging leaf piles across the city.
Of course, when there's leaves there, you really don't know quite what's under them. They might be slippery or something like that, so you don't really want to cycle straight through the middle.
Flat out trying to keep up with the leaf removal, the council's urging residents to keep their green bins and not dump their own private garden waste on the streets.
It can become a real safety issue to road users because those leaves clog up channels and sumps, which then cause water to pond. And it also slows our crews down and getting to other areas on the network.
With a massive clean-up ahead and reports of council workers being abused, residents are asked to be more understanding.
We too take pride in our city and we like to see it tidy. So please bear with us. We're pulling out all stops to get the debris cleared up. And if you see us out and about, please treat us with kindness.
With a wet and wild winter ahead, this issue isn't going away in a hurry. Lachlan, Rennie, Metro News.
Rural vets are struggling to keep up with demand. Over the last couple of years, more than 1,000 have left the profession, and that's making it tough for those left behind. Our reporter Ava Whitworth is covering the story and joins us now. Ava.
We have just over 2,000 rural vets with stock on something like 50,000 farms in Aotearoa, and they're busy. We also have 6 million dairy cows nationwide, meaning the demand is at an all-time high. But there aren't enough vets to go around, with almost 200 vacancies in an industry crucial to our country. Rural vets are found behind the scenes, doing the most crucial work for farmers in Aotearoa. However, the pressures they face are vast, forcing some to step away from the job.
Physical and mental demands of the position, so it is quite a physical job, so it does require quite a bit of fitness, but also mental fitness as well.
New Zealand's always been dependent on overseas vets coming to our country, and the workforce was hit when COVID closed the door to them. The government allowed them back more than a year ago, but New Zealand's still chronically short of rural vets.
We, as an industry, certainly relied on vets predominantly from the UK coming to fill positions for locum work during our peak times.
On top of this, the demand of the job can be greater than people expect, as a majority of rural vet clinics require 24-hour availability from their staff.
It is actually really difficult to switch off when you're on after hours for so long.
Pretty full on for them really. They're on call 24/7, so if we get up in the middle of the night, there's a cow having calving issues, we can ring them and know that they'll be here generally within 15-20 minutes.
The message is clear. The farming industry relies heavily on their vets, and without them, they wouldn't be able to operate.
Yeah, it's crucial to the business really. Like if we didn't have them, then we wouldn't be able to farm basically.
To combat burnout, they're giving vets sabbaticals, lots of time off, and opportunities for extended leave. They also use clinical psychologists to work with their teams to support, educate, and raise awareness, helping farmers keep their stock healthy. The industry is eager to combat this issue. Firstly, Vet NZ is encouraging people to take up the profession. Government funding allows 100 people to take up Massey University's veterinary science program each year. 90 graduate annually. In the workplace, vet practices are working together to ensure new recruits are well supported.
Thank you, Ava. Last year there were 340 fatal accidents on New Zealand roads, and officials say we need to get that number down. One way is focusing on those who make our roads safer, and that's the message they're driving home for the Road Safety Week. McKayla Wright reports.
Whatever your mode of transport, our roads can be dangerous. 377 people died in crashes last year.
We lose a person a day on our roads, on average. So the big change would be not to see any of those anymore.
This is why dedicating a week to road safety is so vital.
We need a sort of generational change in mineshift, and that's not going to happen overnight. So it's just good to start at the grassroots level and get the kids on board with it.
The theme this year is to be a road safety hero, recognising everyone who helps make the roads safer. Getting speeds down around schools is a major target.
There are a number of councils that are changing speeds around their schools at the moment across the country, and so we're working with those councils to design and implement the Safer Speeds Around Schools program at the moment.
Last year, police issued over 4,000 tickets for speeding near schools around the country, while their cameras caught another 35,000 drivers.
The principal here at Sacred Heart tells me that almost everyone that comes over these speed bumps right outside of the school is speeding over the limit. It's definitely a cause for concern.
The road our school's on feeds off the motorway, so the pace of cars is quite high coming off, and a lot of our children don't sort of understand, or they underestimate the speed of vehicles. We do see near misses, and it's normally the car's fault.
But the focus isn't just schools. People working on our roads are in danger as well.
Yeah, just slow down. That's it. Like, don't abuse the guys too. That makes things hard. But yeah, definitely just stick to that posted speed limit. That's all you need to do.
Whatever age, everyone has a part to play, especially our tamariki, who they hope will drive the safety message home. McKayla Wright, Metro News.
Construction of Otatahi's multi-use arena is entering a new phase later this month. The next part of the plan involves building Te Kaha's Western Grandstand. CEO David Kennedy says the project continues to meet the budget and its timeframes. The arena is still on track to open in 2026.
In a time where families are under pressure due to the cost of living crisis, social workers are more important than ever. But what do they do to look after themselves and reduce the stress? Emily O'Hagan reports.
It's a safe space for social workers and allied professionals to come together and talk.
So Connected Conversations came from me experiencing burnout myself and realising that there's a real need for collective support.
Once a month, Abby facilitates Connected Conversations at a local cafe.
A colleague and I started these events of having coffee together, looking out for other social workers and kind of going, let's have a conversation, let's actually draw upon our strengths.
Being at the cafe is really good to just say that I'm doing it right.
Working privately can be quite isolating at times.
I've had teachers, doctors, support workers, yoga therapists, massage therapists.
One issue, they're so busy, it's hard to find the time.
It is difficult to make space within the social work profession.
But if it's on a time that I can come, I'm here. But I can't always come.
But they say connecting is important.
If they can sell it to their bosses as a priority and something that's really important and bringing them value, people are agreeing to that. So.
And these women can't recommend it enough.
It's good to actually have a community that knows what you're going through.
More and more people should take the initiative and commit to that. I think in this busy time and this busy world where we've got lots going on, it's really important to step back and stop.
Stopping. A chance to take a breath, relax and refresh. Emily O'Hagan, Metro News.
E whaia kene, coming up next. As COVID is no longer a problem, tourism is thriving once again. And we check out the latest method of dealing with stress, throwing an axe like a Viking.
A group of university students has started a
Hi, I'm Hayley and I'm the lineup producer for MetroNews 2023. So lineup is basically the lead producer for the day, which creates the entire rundown. We basically write all the words that you guys see and hear and all the content involved.
I'm Charlotte and I am team producer for MetroNews 2023. So that's basically just helping the journalists find angles for their stories, finding them editing slots, just sorting out camera ops. And yeah, I just help Hayley with the rundown and finding fitting stories, hard-hitting, but also those nice softer stories.
We have an hour to create the rundown and finalise all the fine details, which then I head down to the production meeting and I run over that. So that's basically going through the rundown so we're all on the same page and making sure that we know what's going on and what needs to be done before the show that goes ahead.
I go off to a meeting with all the journalists and we discuss updates and we talk about possible ideas and that kind of stuff. We put all the ideas on the board, as you can see behind me.
And then from there, it's a busy grind from 9 till 12. Me, Charlotte and Sophia, which is the director's assistant, needs to go over all the details, all the intros to all the stories, all the stings, and basically all the opening lines, throw to breaks, making sure they all flow.
So we finalise the script and then we go into the control room at 2. So Hayley is busy sorting out all the timing, so she's working alongside the DA, Sophia. And then I'm talking to the news anchors and the live cross. If the show is running overtime, I do tell them to speed up the pace a little bit. If they're quite nervous, I relax them and I just give them tips and tricks. If they're looking quite messy with their blazers and all that kind of stuff, then I just help them out with that.
We also run a debrief meeting at about 5 o'clock after the show, which is honestly just a debrief of what happened, what went wrong, if anything went wrong, what we could do better. Just basically critiquing what we can improve on.
No mai anō, welcome back. A new partnership with Tourism New Zealand will bring more overseas travellers to Christchurch and give the southern economy the boost it needs. Our reporter Davina Zimmer is covering the story and joins us now. Davina?
Yes, it certainly is a time of change and growth for Christchurch Airport. Arrival numbers are creeping back to pre-pandemic levels and they're about 80% of the way there. Airport management expects them to be back to what they were before COVID, if not more, by 2025. With tourism making a comeback, Christchurch Airport is buzzing with business.
It's the Mount Cooks, it's the Queenstowns, it's the Lake Tekapos. They're the images that people have of the whole of New Zealand. They happen to be all crammed into the South Island.
The South Island seems like a much nicer and more interesting island compared to the North in terms of things to see.
Really looking forward to it because I was told New Zealand is absolutely gorgeous.
Overseas arrivals will give the southern economy the leg up it needs. Every dollar a tourist spends here, another 50 goes on their travels in the South Island.
The wide-body aircraft is not the single aisle that we fly domestically, but a double aisle plane. Delivers between $150 and $200 million worth of economic activity into the South Island.
But to get arrival numbers up, Christchurch needs more direct international flights, and attracting overseas carriers is a costly business.
Particularly when we're talking to an airline, we need to be able to go to them and say, here's the South Island, here's why passengers want to come, and we can help you market that.
The 3-year partnership with Tourism New Zealand is hoped to boost arrival numbers at Christchurch Airport. And with new direct flights, such as the one from San Francisco to Ōtautahi, this city is predicted to become one of Aotearoa's new top destinations. Attractions like the Riverside Market are what makes Ōtautahi Christchurch a key destination for visitors. Retailers are delighted.
We're maybe 2 times busier than we were 1 year ago, so massive increase in tourists, which is great.
Definitely, yeah. A lot more customers, a lot more tourists.
With the extra promotion, South Island businesses can look forward to a busy summer. Now, we've all seen the increase in airfares since pandemic restrictions have eased, and so the question in everyone's mind is how people will be able to afford seats on these new international flights. But Scott Calloway says these increases are actually due to there not being enough seats available in the first place. He says once more planes start flying in, we can expect fares to go down.
Thank you, Davina. Are you one of those people who loves giving back to the community? Well, we take a look at how riding for the disabled is managing with a shortage of volunteers. As I discovered, they rely on outside help to stay afloat. Enriching lives with horses is the vision for riding for the disabled. And this year, they're celebrating their 50th anniversary.
We have a large group of volunteers who help us, and we have a lot of riders who come to us with a variety of disabilities.
Their focus to improve the health and well-being of people with disabilities. For a lot of riders, coming here is a way to build confidence and feel a sense of achievement. The RDA offer a safe environment where riders are able to exercise their body and brain through goal-based activities. For many, coming here is the highlight of their day.
His name is Savvy. He's a good horse. He's a favourite around.
But they rely heavily on volunteers.
They give their time. They might give a whole day, they might give an afternoon, they might give a morning. They engage with our riders. The social interaction is fantastic.
Finding enough is proving difficult.
We struggle a lot to get volunteers to be able to come to us for any length of time. Some of that is COVID, some of it is because today it is quite hard to have the free time.
I love being with the young kids. I've had a background of horse riding myself, so I sort of thought that's something that I like to give back to the community.
RDA reckons it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Sometimes I'm not sure who gets the most out of it, whether it's the rider, the horse, the volunteer, the coach. We all thoroughly enjoy it.
That's a good job. Yeah, you did a good job.
Hayley Linton, MetroNews.
Next summer, new technology will hopefully reduce the number of fires around the Canterbury region. As Isabella Adams reports, the early detection system has been installed in several forests, and firefighters say it will mean they'll be getting to emergencies quicker.
After fires riddled our local forests in recent years, it's time for change. A towering pole with all sorts of detection equipment could be the key to getting to devastating blazes more quickly.
Yeah, Fire and Emergency is interested to learn how this technology works and actually how much capability it has, and what it will do is allow us for early detection, which then reduces the incidents and consequences in the community.
Attentis and Spark IoT have partnered up with the Selwyn District and Christchurch City Councils to install the technology.
I have worked with Christchurch City Council. In talking to them, we thought that there was potential for it to be of good use in Selwyn as well, and McHugh's Forest Park is our highest fire risk because of the trains and the area that it is, the close proximity to our citizens.
The technology doesn't just look out for fires. It also has wind and pollen coverage sensors, temperature gauge and cameras. And with a publicly accessible app, members of the community can know exactly what to expect when they head out to the park.
If there was a fire, it will help us be aware of it quicker, respond quicker, so hopefully limit the loss to infrastructure and to life, like people and animals in that area, because we know about it, we deal with it fast and people are safe.
The detection technology has been installed in 3 separate locations of McHugh's Forest Park. It has also been installed in Bottle Lake to ensure a safer community for the wider Canterbury region. The installation of this technology is only a trial, but if successful, it could be introduced into other forests throughout the South Island. Isabella Adams, MetroNews.
Not many people have used an axe, let alone thrown one, but now Christchurch has a place just for that. It's a skill that dates back to the Viking days. Taite-Pitama has been checking out the action.
Working, stick with it.
On target. Axe throwing, a new business for professional logger Jaden Horan.
This is week 6 now, we've been open. We've been in this building for months and months, building it. We've only had the doors open for 6 weeks.
It's a sport he's hoping will take off.
It's definitely, people don't know about it, they don't know about the sport, they wouldn't have a clue how to even get started. So it's been good to kind of pass the passion on to other people around Christchurch and just bring it to Christchurch, I guess.
Jaden has worked hard on giving the axe throwing a Viking theme.
Well, Valhalla awaits is where they would go, like in their afterlife. So once a Viking dies, if they die in battle, they had a myth that they would go to Valhalla.
Vikings have always been a passion.
Yeah, well, doing school in England, we did a lot of Viking mythology and history, and that was my favourite subject.
Some pick up the technique quickly, Others take a little longer.
No, it was the first time. Yeah, first time today. That was probably easier than I thought it was going to be. So we were throwing for an hour. It's just kind of using the weight of the axe and letting it rip. It's still quite physical, but not as hard as I thought it was going to be, no.
The axes are heavier than what you sort of think they're going to be, and you think that you're going to be really good at it, but then you're actually not.
It's just a really fun kind of thing to do with some friends or work colleagues. Yeah, it's just really something a bit different than, going out for beers or going out for food. Come down and have a throw of the axe and have a laugh.
Some come for the experience, others come for stress relief.
It's such a good hour experience. You get rid of a lot of stress, and it's real satisfying when you get the axes sticking.
Although they are brand new, the big goal is to eventually have a larger venue with a separate area for food and drink. Taite-Pitama, MetroNews.
The Tactics are in for a must-win clash this weekend, facing off against the Central Pulse in Wellington. The Pulse are currently top, and the Tactics need to beat them to move up the table. Tomorrow's game is their last chance to make the playoffs.
And are you wanting to chill out and relax a little more these days? Well, tuning into Otahi's newest radio station might be the answer. As Michaela Wright reports, Waves has gone live this week.
He rangi kapanoni te tai, tunes that change the tides. Now live, Waves FM is offering a swell time away from day-to-day stresses.
Ready to chill like a pro?
Tune into Waves 96.1
and let the good vibes roll.
So Waves 96.1 is dedicated to being that friend that everyone loves, like with good banter, a feel-good, unique experience, and providing all the alternative, independent rock and pop music.
They've taken a fresh approach to how the airwaves are used.
So one of the main things we did to kind of stir up curiosity was we played wave sounds for 3 weeks leading up to our launch, and it definitely did its job because we got 6 complaints on the first day.
With businesses feeling the pinch, it's been tougher selling enough ads. But where there's a will, there's a wave.
Everyone's given it their best shot, with what's going on. Every year it's a new challenge. Sales are going well. We've got some businesses supporting us and helping out where they can, so that's really cool.
One thing that's taken off is their digital presence.
We also are supporting local bands by including them in our Wire to Wipeout, which happens every Wednesday, and that way our audience can interact with our socials and they can comment their favourite band and song, and then they can win a prize.
Live radio shows run from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m.
We're definitely expecting something that will be fun but also easy listening, with well thought out and intelligent content, but also room for a bit of humour. Yeah?
Will hopefully be funny. Hopefully kind of funny.
You can catch Waves from Kaikoura to Timaru, or if you're out of the splash zone, it plays on apps iHeartRadio or Rover.
Waves 96.1.
Michaela Wright, MetroNews.
And now for the weather. It was a rainy day in Otahi, reaching a high of 13. Cantabrians can expect the evening to clear, going down to a low of 9. Tomorrow will be another drizzly day, with a high of 12 degrees.
That's all for Metro News tonight.
For those stories and more, head over to our website, metronews.co.nz. Or you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram or TikTok. We'll see you next year. Ko Hayley Linton aho.
Ko Lachlan Rennie aho. Thank you for joining us.
Mā te wā o Otahi.